Well, hello everyone and welcome back to another video, the F1 2020 Driver Career Mode Alpine, episode number 62 today for the Mexican Grand Prix, season 4, round number 15. Yes, the penultimate round of this season. We've only got this in Brazil left, and then we'll be into season 5, the furthest I've ever got in any career mode on this channel. So yes, we're going to keep going, and of course just want a quick mention to tomorrow. Not entirely sure how tomorrow's designs are going to be perceived, so you'll have to wait until tomorrow. All I can say is neither look like the real life one. Yeah, I am splitting them up though because of the time constraints that I have, so it's the Alpine and the Williams coming tomorrow for those of you who are watching today. But anyway, back to driver career mode. We seem to be good. We're going to put a fresh engine into this car as well, but we've been cursed again. I mean, if you've been watching this season, then you'll know that we've had rain quite a lot. I think we've escaped literally. I think there's only been like 3 Grand Prix where there hasn't been a wet qualifying or a wet race. It's been that bad. But yeah, anyway, coming into this one then, Racing Point have brought some upgrades, so that's interesting to see that they brought upgrades. They're back as supposedly the 5th fastest team, although their performances this year have been as bad as Esteban Ocon's in this season. So yeah, Alpine, literally nobody else has bought any upgrades except for Alfa Romeo and Haas, and they're right at the back. I mean, you could fit literally the gap between ourselves and Mercedes between them and ourselves. So yes, obviously one more round to go. Obviously a little bit spread out than it has been in previous seasons. If you think about it, season 3, season 2. A lot closer than it has been in season 4, but that of course is the effects of a R&D regulation change. We'll have another one going into season 5. But yes, moving to qualifying then, it is intermediate weather, which is the least worst scenario of rain, especially in qualifying, where it's not so bad in the race potentially sometimes. I mean, yes, there are some scenarios where wet weather racing is just not the thing you want to be doing in F1 2020. But this is our fastest lap then. At the end of the session, we've improved through sector turn 1 into turn 2, and at the acceleration out of turn 2 is going to get us a 10th up into the sector 1. It goes purple in sector 1. 4.5 tenths faster than Norris is up in P9. Norris spot doing better than usual. As we come through into the stadium section, 4.5 tenths up we are on our previous best time. Science has improved ahead of Norris. Can we knock Norris out of the top 10? Yes, we can. Half a second improvement, and we go into P8. So for only the second, we haven't been in the top 10 for a while, and then all of a sudden we've made it there twice in a row. This is good, and Hamilton struggled as well. Verstappen running out of season in class after being made world champion. Ocon, I mean, if this was a harsher career mode, he'd been fired by now, but there we go.
Great work out there today. Let's have your thoughts. How does the car perform in these conditions? Is it an advantage or a disadvantage?
Well, the engine definitely had an advantage in sector 1.
How do you feel about this team's performance this season?
They could have done well. They've done well, but they could have done better. Reliability as well has been a problem.
Appreciate your time.
Welcome along to the most populous city in North America, and home now to the Mexico City Grand Prix. It's a sellout crowd as usual here at one of the shortest circuits on the Formula One calendar. So who, I wonder, will the crowd cheer on today to the top step of the podium? The Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez, 2.6 miles of track that allows drivers to take full advantage of their cars, reaching speeds in excess of 220 miles per hour and providing lots of opportunities for overtaking. The circuit features 17 corners, 10 to the right and the remaining 7 going to the left. Joining me for today's race once again is Anthony Davidson. Now, can I get your take on Max Verstappen? They've had a fantastic campaign. It's been a wonderful year, and they come into this weekend's Grand Prix as a fully deserving champion.
It really is well deserved. I wouldn't say it's been a faultless title challenge, but certainly one that has been consistent and well managed. Here's hoping they let off a bit of steam today and give us an exciting race.
Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Young superstar Max Verstappen starts from pole position and it's Pierre Gasly in P2. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Bottas, Vettel, Alexander Albon and Leclerc, Hamilton and Renault, Sainz and Kevin Magnussen, Norris, Joe, Esteban Ocon and Stroll, Russell, Giovinazzi, Daniel Kvyat and Nick de Vries, Latifi and Nobuharu Matsushita. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out. Then let's see who can prevail today.
Good result last race. Let's try to go one better this weekend.
Jeff says something different than we got points last time out. Let's try and repeat it again. Jeff has said something different. This is a miracle. This doesn't happen in the F1 game. But anyway, moving to the strategy then. Yeah, we are of course going to be aiming for points. Mexico's turned into a good track for me, especially on this year's game. It's going to be a one-stop from soft to mediums, basically, under 25% race. 5 lights on that, and away we go for the Mexican Grand Prix. It's a good start, better than Leclerc, who had a terrible start up in there in the 7th, and we're at we overtaken. Bottas has had a terrible start as well. Hamilton is already ahead of his teammate into turn 1. I'm going to try and go around the outside. Can we get Hamilton as well around the outside to turn 1? Yes, we can. We have a little look at Albon as well. Nothing to do there. Hamilton comes back to us in turn 2. Luckily not to get any damage there with a little bit of tyre banging, and Hamilton sticks behind us. We move up into P5 now as we're all over the back of Albon. Sebastian Vettel, by the way, of all people, leads this race. So having a very good race for Ferrari. Ferrari is starting to come back. I mean, especially in later races, they led to Singapore. Leclerc was robbed of victory. Can Vettel get victory here? Although we're having a look at, while I was talking about that, we got round the outside of Albon as a nice, easy overtake. He gave the space, and Albon able to get the move done into the latter half of the middle sectors. We now close in on Gasly, who's been forced out by Verstappen, and now we're going to have the inside line in the 3rd DRS straight into the stadium section. Thank you very much, and we're on to the podium by the end of lap 1. And Vettel has already a 3-second advantage at the front, but I'm sure Verstappen will be catching him. We now have to look. We can't really catch either of those two. The performances of the Alpine isn't that great, and we're just looking to keep ahead of Gasly. And there was contact there with Gasly, a little bit of side wall banging with the tyres. This is the lap later, exactly the same thing. Gasly goes to the inside and forces us to really take avoiding action, because we've got overspeed through the exit of that corner. And Gasly, in actual fact, is going to lose out in the end to Albon, who will probably be moaning about the fact that they've raced him so hard. But anyway, Albon is now ahead, and he's going to be the main threat for us. Can Albon get ahead of us? And Albon isn't coming in at the end of lap 9. He's going for one more lap as Vettel and Verstappen. Verstappen, by the way, got in front of Vettel with a simple DRS move. So Verstappen has the effective race lead from Vettel, and then it's Russell Sells. Magnussen's in as well, so sorry, Gasly's in as well, excuse me. So, and he's out behind us, as is Norris as well. Where we're going to come out is going to be P13, behind Latifi in the Williams car. Although jumping to lap 11, the following lap, they've all I mean, Hamilton and Albon have both come out of the pits, and they've come out driving about 5 miles an hour. And I don't know if the pit limiters stayed on for them, and the Norris has come out of nowhere and he's up into P5. But yes, you can see here they're stuck at 125 miles an hour, like gear problem. And then Albon locks up, allows Norris to come through. Then I think Albon is going to have the better traction, and he's going to try and get it through into the into the start of the second sector around the outside. Pretty much what the move that I did to Albon in the first stint, and Albon is back in front of Norris. Up into P3 as Bottas now comes out the pits. We're going to be ahead of Bottas. We pulled out of his slipstream to get the overspeed there. But Bottas, of course, is now going to be at that extra thing. Can Bottas now challenge us for the podium? As we watch Verstappen, who is out of the race with an engine failure on lap 12. Wow, this is going to change everything. So we're not in longer fighting for P2. And the safety car's being deployed as well. So this means we could be on the victory here. Never mind a podium. I mean, I was just settling down for P3 defending Bottas, but I think we could go for victory here. Vettel has the lead, and the safety car is coming in at the end of lap 14. Vettel is not bolted yet. I'd have bolted by now if I was Vettel, and now he bolts. But he's not caught us napping as he would like to, and we're going to have to make the move here, otherwise Bottas is going to be over it, using the slipstream and all the ERS and the straight line speed, and pulling to the outside. Vettel comes back at us on the inside into turn 1. We keep it up footing though, and moving into turn 2 we get the better exit and up into the lead of the Mexican Grand Prix. But Vettel isn't going to give up that. This could be, if he leaves Ferrari in the season, this could be a last chance for Ferrari to get a win this season, having not won so far. But jumping to lap 17, of course, it's that third DRS straight where the Vettel is most strong over myself. This time we defend the inside, learning from our previous endeavours against Gasly, and we once again defend the inside on lap number 18. This is the final lap coming into the stadium section. Vettel is not close enough, so it's looking like we're going to be good enough to get our first victory in this career mode for 2 seasons. Round the final corner we come. Vettel isn't close enough, a little bit wide out of the final corner, but we've come across the line for victory. Fantastic.
Absolutely awesome. Just amazing. Well done.
Yes, nice victory there. First victory for 2 seasons in this career mode. First one for Alpine as well.
The thin air here in Mexico City makes this event a brutal one for these Formula One cars. But this team have done a fantastic job to make it to the checkered flag and take a well-earned victory. Anthony Davidson, a resounding victory today. What set them apart from the rest?
Well, the safety car completely changed the race, didn't it? It's hard to say exactly what would have happened without it, but there's no question that they came out of that situation in a good position.
As we can see, it's time for the podium, and I can see the Renault team underneath our commentary box going crazy as their drivers walk out. It was a great win, and it means a great deal to this team.
So we're finally back on the top step. It has been quite a while in this career mode since we've been on the top step. Exactly 2 seasons, because it was the USA Grand Prix in season 2, which was the penultimate round of the season then. Battle P2, I think he'll be disappointed he couldn't hold on for victory, but Ferrari are looking better. They are looking better. Bottas P3, Hamilton's suffering as well, only down in P7. Norris pretty much came out of nowhere with that. Verstappen, I'm sure, will also be disappointing after dominating large parts of the race, unable to get lane victory there. So in terms of it, after being pretty much 7 points behind Magnussen at the start of the weekend, we're now 18 points clear of the Dane into 6th place. We could catch Gasly, but we'd have to win in Brazil and he'd have to get DNF. So I think 6th place is probably the maximum we can do to round off this season. The fact of the matter is we're now 100. We've scored 100 and 107 points more than Esteban Ocon, who only got P10 today. Poor qualifying. If it was up to me, he would have been fired today, and he's cost us particularly P4 in the championship, I would say, because we would have been ahead of Ferrari if Ocon was around where I was, really. But anyway, enough about that.
The fans really seem to enjoy that. You made it look easy. Was there really any competition for you today?
Our power unit had so much power today, it was unbelievable. Such a shame there's a reset, really, coming into Season 5.
Did you struggle to get through all that traffic today?
No, just used the power. The safety car helped as well, of course.
You performed better than last weekend. What changed?
We got a bit lucky, really. And also the power unit is
We all
strong.
underestimated you, didn't we?
Well, the safety car changed everything. We were on for a podium, nevertheless.
Appreciate your time.
Yes, thanks there. Thank you there, then, Claire. And we've driver acclaim. We're not going to level that to level 16, but hopefully we can do it at the next race, Brazil. A favourite of mine to drive around. We always seem to go well there, which will be coming out next week on the channel, which will be the final race of this Season 4 career mode, and then we'll move to Season 5. Final race before we've got this R&D reset on the engine. You can see Mercedes are quite somewhere out in front, but again, obviously that does include ERS, fuel efficiency as well. And also, I feel good because I think there might be some engine penalties there, because we haven't had any today in this episode. So there might be some there of people running out of getting warm parts, or there might be some DNFs, especially Verstappen as well, who DNF'd today. He might need a new engine part to replace that or not. We'll see who else decides to go for a new engine at Brazil as well. Might be able to get a good start there and get some good points to round off what has been a very up and down season, I must say. There were parts in this season where the car did not have any pace whatsoever. We've got lucky at times, like Singapore, Hungary and whatnot. And even places like Monaco and the Netherlands, where we really didn't have that much pace, but we've got lucky with the tyre strategy or the safety car or something like that, and that's given us the good points. In the case of Singapore, we were lucky with the good start, and then Leclerc had that glitch. But anyway, if you have enjoyed this video, then leave a like, subscribe to the channel for news, see plenty more episodes of the F1 2020 Driver Career as when they come out every week. But until the next video, I'll see you next time. Take care, thanks so much for watching, enjoy your day, and goodbye.